Hi, my name is Jablon and I live here in Austin, Texas. I've been here for about a year and a half. I currently work as a travel blogger. I co-founded a website called Million Mile Secrets, and it's all about how one can achieve their travel dreams, whatever they may be. And so I write and edit articles, manage the content of the blog to show readers how they can travel the world for free or almost free. My husband actually used to travel for work quite often, so he accumulated many thousand miles and also elite status on the airlines and in certain hotel chains. And so that job that he used to travel for actually ended, and he had Googled how to travel without flying. And so eventually he stumbled upon another blog that wrote about how you can use credit card rewards programs to travel for very cheap. So my husband started doing that, and essentially he would sign up for credit cards and he would get the big bonuses and then redeem those bonus miles for travel. And I'll never forget, about 6 months after we met and we were dating, and he had asked me if he could apply for a credit card in my name. And I thought this was a little forward to ask for my social security number and to apply for a credit card on my behalf. So I turned him down. I said, no, my credit score is very important to me, and I'm not comfortable with that. And so a few months later, he had taken me on my first trip overseas in a first class airline. And so that was the turning point for me. I got to experience the benefits of traveling on miles, and so after that I had given him the responsibility or the permission to apply for credit cards for me. And so then I also started breaking in the credit card rewards miles and points, and then also was able to use those for travel. One of the favorite memories that I have is we went on 2 honeymoons. We went to Paris, and the retail cost of our trip was $32,000, and this included first class airfare both to Paris and our return trip, and also we stayed in a 5-star hotel. It was the Park Hyatt, and it was a former palace for a governor there. And the hotel room was actually a suite, and it went for about $1,000 a night. So I was very spoiled for my honeymoon, and but we had only paid less than $2,000 for that trip, and again, the retail cost was $32,000. So the deals are definitely out there, and anyone can do the same thing. That's what I love about this hobby, is that anyone can do it. You just have to be fairly organized, have a good credit score, and the opportunities are there. So I feel very fortunate that I've been able to share the opportunity with whoever wants to learn it. And I've heard some very sweet stories about families being able to reunite with long lost relatives, or taking their kids to Disneyland for the first time using miles and points. So to me, that's the most rewarding part of my job, is that I get to help people achieve their travel dreams, whatever it may be. I've been to about 30 countries, most of which have been on miles and points, and it's very recently where I've been able to go to Asia, to South America, to the Caribbean, to Europe, and I've been very blessed to see different ways of life, different cultures, and be able to learn more about their life, their histories, and their way of living. And I'll never forget the experiences that I had traveling, and those experiences and memories will stay with me for my entire life. There are two situations that really stand out to me. The first one was when I went to India and I got to see poverty that I had never seen quite like that before. I had been to Mexico, to some poor towns near the border, but this was on a different level because of just seeing families living on the streets, kids running barefoot, you know, without any clothes, and begging for anything that they could get. So that was very moving to me, because here in the US we have everything. We have so much here, and so seeing that really touched my heart. And one of the things that I like to do every time I go to India or a developing country is to bring what I call care packages. And the care packages are, since I travel so much at hotels, I always get the amenities, so the shampoo, the conditioners, the soap, even pens, and the sugar packets that they give you with the coffee. I will take all that stuff, and then I'll collect clothes from people, or just go to places like Goodwill and get cheap clothes, and I'll put those in a package for the what I call the street families, the homeless people who are living in India. And so every time I give those out to the people there, it really touches my heart, because sometimes, you know, just the look in their eye, you know that they don't really get a lot, but when they do, it really means a lot to them. My first real trip overseas was when I was in college, and I decided to study in Spain for a semester. And then I also wanted to stay over the summer to practice Spanish and just to immerse myself in the culture more. And so I chose Barcelona, Spain. I was about, I think I was 20 or 21 at the time, and before that I had never really traveled outside the US before, and it was my first big trip. And I also want to mention that when I grew up, my family and I didn't travel a whole lot. I grew up in a middle-class family. We didn't really have a lot of extra income to travel. We never went to Disneyland or, you know, California or Hawaii. When we did take vacations, it was usually just road trips to a local theme park. And so going to a place like Europe, to Barcelona, was a really, really special and exciting opportunity for me, and I just remember looking forward to it so much. So I went to Barcelona, and it was very different for me. I was on my own for the first time, and there were definitely challenges along the way. You know, conversation, not knowing the language, just different ways of life, different foods, customs, but this was all part of the learning opportunity for me, and I loved it there. There was not one moment when I wanted to go back. I was never homesick, and I remember riding my bike all around the city, exploring Spain, the rest of the country, going to museums, and I'll always cherish those memories in Spain. So if I could choose one place to relocate, I think it would have to be Spain, because it's very nostalgic for me, and there's so many different parts of the country as well. The north and the south are very different from each other. So there's definitely a lot to explore. Well, one of my childhood dreams, I remember watching a lot of Disney movies like any other American kid, and I remember watching Aladdin and you know, going on the magic carpet ride and going to this magical place, and it was in Arabia where they rode camels and elephants, and I remember watching Beauty and the Beast in the provincial French towns, and so I always wanted to see those parts of the world that I had never seen before or experienced. And this was always my dream growing up. I've always been very curious about other people around the world. And so I feel very, very fortunate that through my hobby of collecting the credit card rewards and miles and points, I've been able to travel because it is very expensive. So if I was just using cash to book flights and stay in hotels, it would be very difficult. But thankfully, I've been able to achieve my dreams of riding on elephants and camels in India. I've gone to the provincial French towns and meet people there. So I've been very, very lucky that I've been able to not only travel to see the world, but also to make it a career as well. I moved to Austin because I wanted a change of scenery. Before that, I was living in Kansas, and it was a small town of about 80,000 people, and I've never really liked the cold weather, and the winters there can get pretty chilly. So I had the opportunity to move to work on the travel blog full time. So because I can work remote, I can work almost anywhere in the US, and so I chose Austin because of the warmer weather, and also there are a lot of creative professionals around my age, so I thought it was a very dynamic place to live and enjoy. And also there's no state income tax, so that helps. Some of my favorite spots would definitely be, I really like Esquina Tango. That's one of the first places that I went to when I moved to Austin, and I really like the community that the owners have built there. The owners are from Argentina, and so they give a lot of tango lessons, a lot of other dance lessons, and language lessons, so it's a very community-oriented place. I really like what Kesa has done with the EuroCircle and creating a community of not only Europeans, but also friends of Europeans, and what I consider myself a European at heart. And it's been very nice for me to meet other people who I wouldn't necessarily be able to meet on my own in the city. And so I think it's amazing how EuroCircle in Austin has grown so much and has been such a special part of my life. And also throughout the US, there are a lot of events, and I feel very privileged to be a part of it here.